Welcome. My name is Lorenz. This is System Self. Let's talk about surrender. This is an idea that challenged me for a very long time. I spent years asking myself, what is surrender? What does it mean? How do you do it? Does it mean giving up your free will, not having any ambition or desires? For a concept that is at the heart of almost every major spiritual and religious tradition, surrender seemed like a very abstract and even threatening concept. There's this battlefield connotation of raising the white flag and giving up, right? Giving up. Is that what surrender is? One of my teachers, Hari Kaur, shared with me that surrender is listening. And it took me a while to really appreciate the deep and profound subtlety of this explanation. To think about surrender as a type of receptivity, being receptive to reality as it is, and really bringing awareness to every aspect of it, to every aspect of the internal condition, to every aspect of the external condition. There's a movie called Ender's Game, and it's a futuristic sci-fi movie where there's a war between humans and aliens. And for some reason they have a child army, and there's a boy soldier who's a military genius, and he's leading this army against these aliens. And by the end of the movie, one of the things that you realize is that the reason that the boy is such a brilliant strategist is because he has so much love for the enemy, that he has this profound empathy and is able to understand the enemy so completely that he can respond victoriously. Now this is really profound in some way, right? Because this is surrender. This is surrendering yourself to the other side, becoming completely receptive to how they're thinking and how they're feeling, and receiving that and responding appropriately. So it puts a completely different spin on this idea of surrender. And similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, which takes place on a battlefield, Arjuna, the main protagonist, is deeply conflicted because on the other side of the battlefield is his family, the other half of his family. And at some point, Krishna, the Hindu deity, reveals himself to Arjuna and basically says, dude, all these people are dead in the long run anyway. This is your duty. You either step up or be forgotten in oblivion. And of course, Arjuna has to surrender to that calling, to step up and fight in the battlefield. So is life a battlefield? I mean, life is challenging, right? We're constantly confronted by different situations, different people that cause us to feel anxious or frustrated. And so what does surrender mean in that concept, in that context? And if you think about it in the context of receptivity, of deeply listening to everything that's coming through, to the resistances that you feel inside, to the resistances that come at you from the world around you, and instead of confronting those resistances head on or being overwhelmed by them, right? So instead of being a victor or being a victim, to really see yourself as part of the whole system, to be fully receptive to the dynamics of the system and continually bringing awareness and learning from that and how to navigate that territory. It gives a completely different spin. So on the one hand, your option might be to be a victor, and so you're trampling all over people around you and people resent you. And on the other side, you are a victim and everything and everyone is trampling all over you and you resent the world. Well, as far as I'm concerned, either option kind of sucks. There must be a middle ground. And surrender is that middle ground. It is a receptivity because it's not about victory or defeat, it's about peace. And the art of peace is about navigating territory, navigating situations, people with awareness to understand how things want to move and shift, to take into account everything around you, everything that's going on, but with a very deep sincerity, a recognition that there are no victims and there are no victors. There's just this experience of reality, of being and being interdependent, interconnected with everything around you. And surrender is really acknowledging that, bringing that into a depth, into a practice. So, how do you do something like this? It's a practice. It takes an intention to be receptive, right? And it's incredibly powerful, right? So whether you're working on a business deal or a project or trying to write a book, cultivating awareness around why you might be procrastinating, around why something is so difficult, around why somebody is bringing up all this resistance to whatever you're trying to move forward. All of those at a very, very deep level can be subtle acts of surrender, of leaning into the discomfort of what a situation might be presenting, of trying to understand more deeply what is going on the other side, of connecting all the dots and cultivating and growing awareness around how to move through situations artfully, not with the intention of dominating them or the fear of being dominated, but with the intention of moving reality forward with the greatest benefit and potential for all as an act of co-creation. This is the deepest meaning of surrender, is to surrender this idea of being an independent agent in the world, and rather embracing and recognizing and stepping into the role of being a part of it, of being a co-creative agency in this reality. And it's a practice. So you might take a moment just right now to contemplate, where are you feeling a lot of resistance? Perhaps you've been trying to move forward on a project, but you're constantly getting distracted, or there's somebody on the other side that's giving you a lot of resistance, or there's a partner you're always having conflict with. All of those situations are something to bring a deeper listening to, a deeper receptivity to. This is surrender, is being receptive. And in order to be receptive, you have to be willing to be changed. Think about this metaphor, right? You're having a package delivered to your house. In order to receive that package, you have to open your door. You have to surrender. And once that package enters your house, the contents of your house is changed just by virtue of whatever just came into your house. Now your house has something new in it, so it is changed. So change doesn't have to be this profound understanding of, oh my God, I'm a different person now. Change is subtle in everything that you receive. That is change. And a willingness to receive that, to be with that, to process that, to bring that into awareness. That is surrender. That is opening the door. So just by taking a moment to be with and contemplate the different areas of life where you might be feeling resistance, and sit with that. Try to feel into the energy of that situation, of where it wants to go. When maybe you loosen up a little bit on where you want it to go, but sit with where it wants to go and try to be in service of where it wants to go. That's coming close to that quality of surrender. I hope this insight has been of interest to you. If you liked the video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. I look forward to our future conversations. This is System Self, where we explore awareness of the self and the systems that we operate in. Much love.